Good morning to my honorable lecturer, Ms. Gungtri. And today I am Kadek Kardiyasa Tirtana Putra will present about my analyzing a classroom action research study proposal. So the first one is identity. The title is Improving Writing Skill of the 7th grade student of SMPN 10 Denpasar in the academic year 2025-2026 through ESA combined with picture. So the author is me, Kadek Kardiyasa Tirtana Putra, and about the components of the title, the skill that I use is writing skill, and then the method is ESA that combined with picture. So let's move on to the chapter 1, introduction. First one is background of the study. Part A was theory. According to Pollard, 2008, page 49, writing is a productive skill. The second one is according to Noonan, 1999, page 271. In terms of skills, producing a coherent, fluent, extended piece of writing is probably the most difficult thing there is to do in language. And the third one is according to Pollard, 2008, page 23. Through ESA, you could engage the students and study language difficulties arising from the activity and then activate language through a speaking activity. So the part B is practice or teaching. A 7th grade student, especially in 7J class of SMPN 10 Denpasar, are still confused in expressing the ideas they have in the form of writing. In addition, they also do not know how to organize paragraphs in accordance with the format and punctuation. So the part C is teacher technique. The teaching strategy carried out by the teacher is too monotone and unclear. The teacher only provides understanding without a clear explanation of how to build a good paragraphs, which makes students confused in making their paragraphs. And part D, the researcher technique. The researcher used an interesting and effective method to help the student express their ideas into a good paragraph by using the ESA method combined with picture. And part E is conclusion. The researcher is interested in knowing whether the ESA method combined with pictures can be used to improve student writing skills by conducting this present research. And the research problem in the study can be formulated in the following question. Can the writing skills of 7th grade student of SMPN 10 Denpasar in the school year 2025-2026 be improved through ESA combined with pictures? And then next is objective of the study. This research intends to find out whether the writing skills of 7th grade students of SMPN 10 Denpasar in the academic year 2025-2026 can be improved through ESA combined with picture. Next is limitation of the study. Part A, general. This research is limited on improving writing skill of the 7th grade students of SMPN 10 Denpasar in the academic year 2025-2026 through ESA combined with pictures. Part B is specific. This research will be implemented on 7th grade students of SMPN 10 Denpasar, especially 7J class, which consists of 40 people, consisting of 25 girls and 15 boys. In the present study, the researcher focused on writing a descriptive paragraph that describes person with the correct and complete generic structure, such as the introduction, body paragraph or description, and conclusion. The researcher will also follow the aspects contained in the scoring rubric, such as format, punctuation and mechanics, content, organization, also grammar and sentence structure. And then next is significance of the study. In this study, the researcher hopes that This research will be useful for English language learning, both theoretical and practical. Theoretically, the results of this study can be used as a reference for other researchers related to the ESA with the picture method used to improve student writing skill. And practically, the findings of the study are expected to be useful for English teachers, students, and other researchers. And next is definition of key terms. In this study, writing skill can be defined as the skill of the 7th grade student of SMP Negeri Denpasar in making a descriptive paragraph that describes a person, especially friend, that consists of an introduction, body paragraph or description, and conclusion. And ESA combined with pictures is operationally defined as the combination of ESA as a teaching method and picture as a teaching media that is used by the researcher to improve the writing skill of 7th grade students of SMPN 10 Denpasar. Let's move on to the chapter 2, theoretical and empirical review. The first one is theoretical review, part A, writing skill. According to Tilema, 2012, page 1, writing is one of the most important skills for educational success, but also one of the most complex skills to be mastered. And according to Fowler, Aaron, and Okomian, 2007, page 10, writing is a process of discovering ideas, arriving at knowledge of the self, and selecting effective ways to present concepts and information. And Lins, 2005, page 98, states that the process refers to the act of gathering ideas and working with them until they are presented in a manner that is polished and comprehensible to readers. Part B, descriptive paragraph. According to Ossiman Huck, 2007, page 61, a good description is a word picture. The reader can imagine the object, place, or person in his or her mind. And according to Savage and Mayer, 2005, page 33, description paragraphs have 3 parts, which are the introduction, body paragraph or description, and conclusion. Part C, ESA combined with picture. Based on Pollard, 2008, page 23, this method, which is ESA, highlights the necessity of engaging students in what they are doing. And according to Harmer, 2007, page 66, there are 3 steps in ESA that can be implemented during the teaching and learning process, namely engage, study, and activate. And part D is assessing writing. Assessment is a useful process to determine student skill in a subject in the teaching and learning process. According to Asiman Haq, 2007, page 196, there are 5 important elements in the scoring rubric, such as format, punctuation and mechanics, content, organization, grammar, and sentence structure. Next is empirical review. The first research was conducted by Putra, 2024, entitled Improving Writing Skill of the 7th grade student of SMP Pelangi Dharma Nusantara in the academic year 2023-2024 through ESA combined with picture. The strength of his study was that the researcher provided a good and strong theory to support the data of his study. And the weaknesses, the author's writing of the student worksheet is not consistent in using Times New Roman or Calibri font, so it looks like a little bit odd. Novelty of the present research. In this present study, the researcher makes a consistent student worksheet so that it will be in accordance with the aspect of reliability and validity of principle of language assessment. And the second research was conducted by Dewi, 2024, entitled Improving Writing Skill of the 7th grade students of SMP Wijayantara Denpasar in the academic year 2023-2024 through ESA combined with picture. The strength of her study is that the researcher provides a clear explanation of the theory that the researcher used in the teaching and learning process. However, the weakness of her research is that the pictures provided are black and white and unclear, so it is difficult for students to describe such as skin color, eyes, and etc. The novelty of the present research. In the current study, the authors will provide color pictures that aim to make it easier for students to describe the physique of the person in the picture. So let's move on to chapter 3, which is research method. The first one is subject of the study. The present study will be conducted at SMPN 10 Denpasar, specifically for students of class 7J in the academic year 2025-2026. The students consisted of 40 students as the subject of the study, consisting of 25 girls and 15 boys. The researcher chose this class based on the result of interviews and information that the researchers got from the English teacher, which show that the ability of students in this class in writing skill was still lacking. Next is research design. According to chemists McTaggart and Nixon 2014, page 11, classroom action research typically involves the use of qualitative, interpretive modes of inquiry and data collection by teachers, often with help from academic partners, with a few to teachers making judgment about how to improve their own practices. And according to Ari et al., 2010, page 518, the classroom action research process involves planning, acting, observing, and reflecting. In this classroom action research, the teaching learning process is divided into 2 cycles. It's consisting of 2 sessions. Each session consists of 4 interconnected activities, namely planning, acting or action, observing, and reflecting. In addition, initial reflection was done before the teaching learning process was carried out. So next is research procedure. The first one is initial reflection. Initial reflection was conducted to find out the problems of students in writing and to find out the extent of students' ability in writing before the method was applied. And part B is planning. Planning refers to the activity of preparing all materials or instruments that will be used to collect data and the steps required in applying the technique. Part C is action. The main activity in this classroom action research is to implement the lesson plan that has been prepared before. Activities in the classroom were classified into 3 parts, namely pre-activity, whilst activity, and post-activity. Part D is observation. In the observation, the researcher observed the classroom situation and the subject's behavior during the teaching process. And part E is reflection. In reflection, the researcher evaluated the progress or improvements of the subjects. Next is research instruments. The instruments used in this study include tests and questionnaires. Part A, tests. In this present study, the test was divided into 2, which is pre-test and post-test. The pre-test was done by the teacher before the teaching, and the post-test was done by the teacher after doing the teaching learning process. In doing the pre-test and post-test, the student wrote descriptive paragraph that consists of 6 until 12 sentences, and the time allotment is 40 minutes because this is in junior high school. The researcher will use a writing scoring rubric that is adapted from Oshima and Hack, 2007, page 196. And part B is questionnaire. A questionnaire was given to the student to know their response toward the implementation of ESA combined with pictures during the teaching learning process. The questionnaire will be given at the end of the last cycle. The questionnaire, typed in Bahasa Indonesia, consists of 10 items. The questionnaire consists of 5 options that are strongly agree or sangat setuju, agree, setuju, undecided or ragu-ragu, decided or tidak setuju, and strongly disagree or sangat tidak setuju. And next is data collection. The data collection process will be carried out by giving pre-test, post-test, and questionnaire to students. The pre-test result will show the basic ability of students in writing descriptive paragraphs. After implementing the ESA method, the researcher will give a post-test to students to find out the results of the action. Meanwhile, supporting data will be collected by giving questionnaire to the subjects at the end of the last cycle. In conclusion, after the data is collected from the subjects by using all instruments, such as pre-tests, post-tests, and questionnaires, the researcher will check whether the achievement of the indicators is achieved or not. And next is data analysis. Data analysis was conducted to determine the improvement in student scores from pre-test to post-test, and to determine student response to the implemented method. And first, how to calculate the mean scores of the students. So this is how to calculate it, which is the mean scores. How to calculate the mean scores? The total scores of the student will divide it into the total with the total number of the students who take the test. The total score, which is symbolized as sigma x, and the total number will symbolize as n. After that, it times 100%. So the results is mean score. And how to calculate it? The percentage of the questionnaire. So this is how to calculate it, the percentage, which is the total responses an item will be divided with total numbers of all items. And the result is times 100%. So we can find the percentage of the questionnaire. And the last one is success indicator. In the present study, the minimum passing grade in writing is determined as the success achievement of the 7th grade student of SMP 10 Denpasar. Therefore, this present study is ended if 80% of the students pass the minimum passing grade after implementation of the ESA method. So this is the references that I use, which is from Ari et al. 2010, Burns 2010, Fowler et al. 2007, Harmer 2007, Chemist McTaggart Nixon 2014, Linz 2005, Noonan 1999, Oshiman Haq 2007, Pollard 2008, Savage and Mayer 2005, and Dilemma 2012. I think that's all that I want to present about my classroom action research study proposal. And thank you, Miss.